talk about solving equations where the exponent is a fraction. Those are called rational exponents. Rational means numbers that can be written as a fraction. And rational exponents can also be written as a radical. So I could have this is an exponent, and this could be written as a radical if the denominator was written as the index. So index for the radical is denominator for the exponent. And the numerator for the exponent stays an exponent, but you can write it inside the radical. Solving steps written in here. Rewrite radicals as rational exponents. Um, isolate that part. Here I mean the part that has the exponent. And then to remove the exponent, we need to raise to the reciprocal power. Reciprocal means your fraction is upside down. And then finish solving for the variable. Anytime you have equations, it's a good idea to check your solution. You would substitute your final value into the original equation and verify that your equation is true. Here I have 4 examples that I'm going to work, and then I ask that you do the bottom 2. You can pause and work on those and then turn the video back on to check yourself. So here I've got 4 problems. I want to focus on these top 2 here, which are 4n in parentheses to the 2/3 equals 4, and also 2 times x to the 3/2 plus 10 equals 138. There's a fundamental difference between these problems. The difference is, for this first problem, there's parentheses. That tells me that both the 4 and the n have this exponent. For this second problem, there's no parentheses. That tells me that only the part of the equation that's closest to the exponent has an exponent. So when you're working to isolate the part of the equation that has an exponent, pay careful attention to see if there are parentheses or not, because that will tell you what you need to do to isolate. So let's look at this first problem. There's a delay here. Okay. Goodness me. Okay, I'm trying to just show the one. No, struggle is real. Goodness sakes. Okay, just this one problem. We'll look at it one at a time. So this problem, it's already written with an exponent, so I don't have to worry about that. Also, this is already isolated. So I don't need that step either. I will skip to step 3, where I raise to the reciprocal exponent. So I'm going to write this again, 4n to the 2 over 3 power, leave a little space, equals 4. And what I will add to this problem is I'm going to raise this to the 3 over 2 power. So on the right side, I also do 3 over 2 power. The reason I do this is because I'm going to multiply these exponents together. 2 over 3 times 3 over 2. When you multiply fractions together, you do numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So once multiplied, I get 6 over 6, which is 1. So another way to write this is, now that I did the reciprocal exponent, I can write this as 4n to the first power. That's the same as just 4n. No exponent. So I also don't need the parentheses. On the other side of my equation, I have 4 to the 3 over 2 power. Put this in the calculator. You can do 4 caret 3 divided by 2, or 4 caret, some of you like to use the fraction key, and that's fine. The numerator is 3, the denominator is 2. So when you calculate 4 to the 3 over 2 power, you get 8. And to solve for n, I would then divide each side of the equation by 4. And I get n equals 2. The last step when you have equations is to check your answer. Try moving this again, see how it works out for me. Okay, so to check this, we'll substitute 2 for n in the original equation. And that is 4, I'm not going to put n, I'm going to put 4 times 2 to the 2/3 power. And I want to know, is this equal to 4? And you can verify that in your calculator. Okay. Next problem. Hmm. Okay. Next problem. I'm isolating x to the 3 over 2 power, so I need to move the 2 and the 10. I would move the 10 first. I'll subtract 10 from each side here. And that gives me 2 times x to the 3 over 2 equals 128. Then I divide each side by 2. So x to the 3 over 2. This is equal to 64. Now this is isolated. So I will raise each side to the 2 over 3, the reciprocal exponent power. On the left side, I get x to the 1, which is x. And on the right side, I get 16. And I can check this by substituting 16 for x in the original equation. So I'm just making sure that 2 times 16 to the 3 over 2 exponent plus 10 is equal to 138. I also have 5 times a plus 3 to the 5 over 4 power, 5 over 4. I would be isolating this group in parentheses. The -5 is right up next to the parentheses group. So that tells me these are multiplied. So to isolate my expression with the exponent, first step I'll do is divide each side by -5. I'm going to write this again here. 4 plus 3 to the 5 over 4, -160. Okay, so like I said, first step, divide by -5, which gives me a plus 3 to the 5 over 4 power on the left, and 32 on the right. So this is isolated, just the part with the exponent. I do reciprocal exponent, excuse me. So 4/5 power on the left and the right. 5 over 4 times 4 over 5 is 1. So this resolves my exponent. I don't have an exponent anymore. My exponent changes to 1. And so I don't need the parentheses. I have a plus 3 equals. You calculate this, you get 16. And then to solve for a, you would subtract 3 on each side. A is 13, and you can substitute and check your answer. Last one here for me to work is this one. Looks like I'm isolating this group with parentheses. I have 6 added to this is 9. So since it's added, I will subtract 6 from each side. That leaves x minus 4 to the 1/3 power equals 3. Now my expression with the exponent is isolated. I raise to the reciprocal exponent, which is 3 over 1. 3 over 1 is just 3. So the left side, I have x minus 4 to the 1 first power. And then I can just write that as x minus 4. And this is equal to 3 to the third, 27. To solve for x, I add 4 to each side of the equation. So I have x equals 81. Some more space on this one. Here. Last step, check your work. Make sure that 6 plus 81 from right there minus 4 to the 1/3 power is equal to 9. There's 2 problems here for you to work on. Go ahead and pause your video and work these out, and then you can unpause and we'll check here that your work is correct. Also, you can substitute and check your work since you have equations.